Okay, 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 okay. Thank you, don't do. Uh-huh. So, when he was running for presidency, I supported his campaign, not because I thought he would win, but because I knew I would do this play. So every night, when we talk, I say, okay, don't worry, keep it up, keep it up. You win, you win, you win. The result is coming out, it's looking bad, okay, you win, you win, you win. And he said, are you sure you win? I said, no, that's why you will not win. So finally, we didn't win. But we will win. The most important thing in this life is that we just keep pushing and we'll win one day. But me, I knew we'd do this play. So I now went up to him like 3 months ago to say, oh, I want to do KASHIMAWO. And he said, no problem, go ahead. And he gave us serious support, both financial and moral. So guys, help us thank you very much. Thank you. So this is our major supporters, FC Accessories.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you. What do I say? What you say? Thank you for everybody showing up today. But more importantly, I see a lot of young people in the crowd, and I like that. We don't teach history anymore in our schools. And I think the history of MKO, GCFR, is a history that is going to be told for generations to come. Everything about him is special. There is no mistake in anything he has done, as far as I'm concerned. I grew up being his oddly, his batsman. I grew up being told that this is your God on earth. And he has undoubtedly been my God on earth, and he continues to be my God and my mentor. For a lot of us, we see him from afar. For a lot of us, we see his good heart. But a lot still has to be told about how industrious he was. And more importantly, this is a man that paid a price for his foresight. He was way ahead of his generation in many ways. The kind of things he did. How many of you, I'm sure a lot of you will be surprised that he only lived for 60 years here today. I'm going to be 62 this year. So you can imagine. You can imagine. So now that I'm 60, everybody tells me I'm more and more and more and more MKO. That's probably because that's the age you saw him at last. It is my hope that with time, there's a lot we discussed, there's a lot that he had planned to do, and inshallah those things will come to pass. But more importantly, it's not so much for me, it's more for Nigeria, it's more for our kids. But I don't know, he's written his own history. What we should begin to ask ourselves is where were we back then and what role we played back then, and whether we have a little to question ourselves about the way things have turned out. I know there's another show coming up in a few minutes, and a lot of us here also have to break our fast. So, and that's why I came for the 4 o'clock show. But I think, especially our parents, the election is what, 31 years ago now, 30 years ago now? A lot of us were pretty young then. A lot of us were not of voting age. But the repercussions of that election are still being felt till tomorrow. And that's because somebody stepped out to do things totally out of sincerity and loyalty to Nigeria. We will have to wait to strive to get to that goal again. But for that generation that just heard of or were not born 30 years ago, I hope you learn from today's show. This is just probably 1% of MKO. A lot of other views of MKO are going to come out this time. What happened, why the annulment came, his role industrially, his foresight, his vision, all that will be told with time. As a family, we don't hold, what do you call it? We don't hold, not grudges, but we don't feel we own it to us to own the rights to him, because I believe he done for everybody. We don't own it to us to have the rights to how people see or how people direct the place about him. I have the idea of just making it as flexible as possible, which I explained to Duke, as flexible as possible. Let everybody come to forefront with their views. And from that and that different angles, I think we will begin to see the reality of who this man was. Yes, we have June 12th as a date. That will never, as long as there is a Nigeria, that will never disappear. We have GCFR, first posthumous GCFR in this man. This is a man that your play shows all the titles, and he got all over Nigeria, but never really got, not one national title throughout his life, but posthumously. So, and to even get that, took a lot of work to get to that. So all that, and that's why we do not hold rights to his name, because we want everybody to have a view and look at him from different perspectives. And with time, maybe that foresight of his will cut across, and we'll understand who he was, what he was meant for. And in many ways, I hope we as children of MKO will reflect and abide by. Once more, I want to say thank you very much. It is an emotional day for me in many ways, understandably. But we try to so much to not be the ones who tell the story. So I'm so glad everybody's telling the story. That way it will transcend my generation, my kids' generation, and it'll also pass down to generations to come. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen.